sometimes we don't want to find the entire circumference of a circle. Sometimes we just want to find the distance partway around the circle. So for example, the length of the arc from A to B. We call this arc length. Think of it sort of as like finding the length of the crust of pizza. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a proportion to do this. I've set the proportion up at the top. The left-hand side of our proportion is going to be the whole pizza or the whole circle. In the numerator we have 2 pi r, which you guys recognize as circumference, over 360, which is the number of degrees in a full circle. We're going to match that up to the slice, or we'll be calling it later the sector, that we're looking at for like our piece of pizza. AL is the arc length, so that's what we'll typically be trying to find, except when we work backwards. And then angle is going to be the angle of that slice. So there's our proportion. So let's take a look at how this works. So I want to find the arc length from A to B. So I'm going to set up my proportion as circumference, which is 2 pi times the radius, which is 8, over 360, which is my total area. No, total degrees in the circle, sorry, 360 degrees. I'm going to set that up to equal x, which is the arc length. That's what I'm trying to find, the distance from A to B around the circle, and then match that up to the angle of my slice, which is 60 degrees. So there's my proportion. We can once again go ahead and find an exact and approximate answer. I'm going to find the exact answer first. It's easier to find the approximate answer once you know the exact answer first. So let's cross multiply to solve our proportion. So 360 times x is just, of course, 360x. And when you cross multiply the other way, to keep your answer exact, ignore the pi and just, again, sort of do all the work around the pi and just the pi is along for the ride, slap a pi in your answer when you're done. So in this part, I would do 2 times 8 times 60, ignoring the pi symbol. That gets me 960, and then just slap the pi symbol on your answer. Don't do any multiplication with it just yet. And then finally, to get x alone, I'll divide both sides by 360. And again, ignore the pi, just do 960 divided by 360. That gets me an exact arc length of 2.6 repeating. I'll use the little bar to show repeating. And then pi, I have the pi symbol on there. Remember, the pi symbol will be there for an exact answer. It won't be there for an approximate answer. Arc length is still like circumference, so it's still just centimeters, not centimeters squared or anything. So that's the distance from A to B around the circle. Now, if I want my approximate answer, remember, we're going to replace pi with a number. And so I'm going to replace pi with 3.14. That's about what it's equal to. 3.14, and then once I do that calculation, I get an approximate arc length of about 8.37 centimeters. I want you to go ahead and try the second problem, the one on the right. If you want to pause the video and try this for yourself, it's going to follow the exact same proportion that we just used. If you want to let the video play through, my work will pop up if you want to check it, but I'd recommend again that you pause it and try that one for yourself first. So there you go, hopefully you guys got the same thing, an exact arc length of 3.6 repeating pi centimeters, or an approximate arc length of about 11.51 centimeters. In our last example to find arc length, we are not given an angle, but they do tell us we take this pizza and we divide it up into 8 equal pieces. So knowing that information, we should be able to find the angle of one slice, which will be able to tell us the length of the crust on one slice, which remember is arc length. So what I'm imagining is I have this pizza, I'm dividing it up into 8 pieces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And unlike my drawing, each of those pieces was cut evenly. So to find what one angle was equal to, I would take 360, and there are 8 slices, so I'll divide that by 8, which gets me an angle slice, or an angle for each slice, of 45 degrees. So let's use that as our angle to find the length of crust on one slice of pizza. So I also have to note what the radius of the circle is, and be careful, they've given me the diameter, which we can work with to find circumference, but I always like to work with the radius. So I'm going to note right away that the radius of this pizza is 9 inches, the diameter is 18. So let's use all that information now to find the arc length of one slice of pizza. So I've got 2, I'm going to just get an approximate answer for this one. So 2 times 3.14 times my radius, which is 9, over 360, because that's the entire pizza, the entire circle, would equal x, the arc length that I'm trying to find, over 45 degrees, the angle of the slice that I'm given. Once again, I'll do some cross multiplying to find my solution. So 360 times x is of course just 360x, and when I cross multiply the other way, I've gone ahead, remember, and I'm just getting my approximate answer for this real life situation. So 2 times 3.4 times 9 times 45 gets me about 2,543.4. And finally, if I finish by dividing, I get an arc length of approximately 7.07 inches for the slice, or the length of the crust on one slice of pizza.